I'm not gonna lie, man. I get so nervous about these videos, you know.
You're really nervous. Really nervous.
Oh, okay. I get so nervous.
Yes, acting.
Okay.
No, don't look at the camera. Don't look at me.
I get so nervous.
Yes. Show the film. No.
I get so nervous.
Yes.
And when I get nervous, I get the itch.
Magnificent. Cut. Yes.
You can run. You can hide. But he will always sniff you out. Cocaine Werewolf. The most accurate howl we've heard tonight. Courtesy of my esteemed co-hosts, the great and overpowerful Pat.
Cocaine City.
Welcome back to Entertainment Rebooted, specifically Cinema Be Visited, where we watch awful, terrible movies.
So great. So great.
We watch the campy, the crummy, the crappy, the B movies, and we tell you the bad, the ugly, and the worst. Tonight's film, as I already said, was 2024's Cocaine Werewolf. Pat, give us a plot summary if you can remember from all of the crack.
So, this is going to sound like I just grabbed a bunch of darts and threw them at a board, because that's pretty much what this movie was.
That's exactly what they did.
Yes.
We have other theories.
Yeah, we'll get into those.
This is the PG theory.
Oh, wait, are we only doing PG?
Oh, we'll get into the X-rated.
Ayo. Okay, so, we start in, it's either Pennsylvania or somewhere near Manhattan, New York.
Or New Jersey.
Or New Jersey, yeah. It's one of those three locations.
Either way, it is a rent-a-shed.
Yes.
I mean a house in the middle of the woods.
Yes.
A cabin not made out of plastic.
It was made out of wood, actually.
Was it?
Yeah, it was an actual wood. It was a wood shed. No. Not an actual, wood in the wood shed, but it was made of wood. I mean, there was some wood in there. We start in the woods, and there is a red filter over the lens, and we hear...
It's actually more along the lines of...
Oh, yeah. We cut to inside the shed where someone is doing a photo shoot for a website that starts with O and ends with N.
That's right. Onion. The Onion.
Yep. They are doing a Red Riding Hood shoot for content for her followers.
Or her fans. Her only fans.
Yeah, only her fans get to see this.
It's true.
Yes.
Only her fans and her producer, the not at all sleazy man.
Who's also the head of her only fan group.
That's only for fans.
Yes, only. And he proposes to be the big bad wolf to her Red Riding Hood. And says that he'll get a wolf mask from the car.
Just so happens that while he's grabbing the wolf mask, an ape, a wolf, a werewolf.
Yes,
appears.
a man wolf.
A wolfish man.
Yes, and...
with a gorilla mask.
Definitely not, a reused Sasquatch mask with a bunch of teeth added on.
And some red eyes.
And copious amounts of fake blood.
No, that was all CG. There was actually fake blood on the mask. You're right.
Yeah. So Red Riding Hood goes out to find her big bad wolf, but the werewolf finds them first. And they're like, yo, what this creep doing here in the woods? And the werewolf literally swats his head off.
Not even like violently. Like literally it was just like, and his head literally just popped.
Yep. And then she's like, oh no! And she runs off trying to get to the car, which is somehow now 10 miles away.
Much farther than it was 10 seconds ago.
Unfortunately, she doesn't have the keys, and the werewolf catches up with her and kills her and eats her. We then go to... Yeah. That's all we needed to see. That is when they rolled credits.
Literally, they ran the full credits for the opening credits, including making sure that in that opening credit scene, the person who came up with the idea of the story was credited. Not
the script, just right up in the dot noddle.
Just literally was story idea.
Yeah.
That was credited right before screenplay, a completely different person.
Yes. We then go to what is possibly either a taxidermist, a junk shop, or a vendor/repairman for utility items of the home.
Or somebody who is very, very bad at hoarding.
Yes. But also sells their stuff, so it's a little iffy.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. And he has a case in a back office, and he's waiting for someone.
And he proceeds to have the greatest acting in the entire movie.
Just
letting us know just how nervous he is.
And when he gets nervous, he gets the itch. He gets so nervous. So he opens up the case on a chair, and what we see is
large
powdered
amounts,
sugar.
Like 14 bags of powdered sugar.
And a bang bang stick.
And it wasn't even a stick. It was a small bang bang.
It was a small bang bang. That still had an orange tip.
And a clogged barrel.
And at that point, the man he was waiting for showed up and be like, hey, you better not be getting into my powdered sugar. The boss wouldn't like that. And he says, well, where's my money? I need to get a powdered sugar fix. Wait, why am I saying powdered sugar? We literally said the name of the movie.
We're trying our hardest. It's late. What proceeds to happen is he's handed a manila folder that's awful thin. He takes out a piece of paper and holds it directly in front of his face, and it says, bang, you're dead. And he proceeds to get shot
in the head.
And then IMDb lets you know that this is a goof of the film.
Such a big goof, I know.
The only goof. I'm surprised that they even saw this and caught this.
I mean, yeah, truly. So
he proceeds to stand for 8 whole seconds after getting bang banged in the face.
And the old thought noodle.
And falls. And then we proceed to hear the after effects of a really bad Taco Bell trip.
Yeah.
Could it be a monster?
So the man who just banged the other, not inappropriately, walks out.
I have a different word for that.
Yeah.
He super thokered him
that's
with lead.
That's worse.
He murder beaned him.
Murder bean. There we go.
He gave him a murder bean to the face.
He grabs the box of powdered sugar cocaine and walks into the store and like, all right, punk, it's just you and me. Come out here. He then proceeds to walk around the empty store that we think is empty.
To one of the most righteous soundtracks I have ever heard in a movie.
Like, truly, this movie goes hard on the music and
nothing else.
Yeah. I mean, there's a few other things that are hard in the movie, but that's
later.
They didn't plan for that. So he's walking around. The werewolf is stalking him through the aisles.
but not really stalking him, but like in the aisles, we think maybe.
Yeah.
And then he proceeds to Pac-Man him into a trap.
Nope. That's later.
Is that?
Yeah.
How long are we going to go about that scene? It was long. He does Pac-Man him.
He does, but not this guy. All right,
you're right.
He kills the carrier. We are also then thrown to a completely different area of a Uber with a digestively upset person driving the car and a stockbroker in the backseat trying to get to Manhattan, and they might be in Montana or Pennsylvania at this point.
We don't know. But one thing I have to say about this scene, if you are going to watch this movie, just warning you, this scene is the only scene where two people who can actually deliver lines are present. One of them can't stop looking at the camera.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one is proceeding to give like the best line delivery with the worst digestive struggle noises filtered in above him.
It was a her.
That was a her?
Yeah. That was a her.
Well, she had me fooled.
So they stop in front of the shop area so she can run to the restroom. He gets tired of waiting for her and does a little toot of some powdered sugar cocaine.
Some candy.
Some booger sugar.
Good stuff.
And then's like, hey, where you at? So he walks in the store and just like, you better stop messing around and get out here. And lo and behold, what's that on the floor but some blood?
Bag, and some blood. Some syrup.
Yes, some Nestle Quick strawberry syrup.
Nesquik strawberry syrup.
Then he walks farther in and sees a bag of booger sugar on the ground.
Bag of candy.
Then he sees another bag of candy on the ground.
Nose
and another bag of nose candy on the ground.
He proceeds to pull a Peter Griffin and starts going, ooh, a bag of candy.
Yes.
Picks it up, puts it in his pocket. Ooh, a bag of candy. Picks it up, puts it in his pocket. Down an aisle and directly into
the murder beaner. Ooh, that's not good. Sorry about that. DJ, we need you to cut that out.
He's not going to. He's not going to watch this.
Oh, he's not? Okay, the man who murder beaned the other one, who's dead and eaten by a werewolf, then the werewolf appears behind him and bites him without ripping his shirt or causing him to bleed at all. Like,
no wound.
Ghost bite, like magnificent. Like such a crazy technique.
Lots of CGI blood though.
Mm-hmm.
Over the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Not on anybody else.
Yeah. He then tries to murder Bean the werewolf and then runs away into the woods where he transforms
into the cocaine werewolf.
Yes. He transforms into the cocaine werewolf. Doing a little toot here and a little woo there.
Although every time that he howls, it's like they started like with a pre-recording that's going backwards.
Yeah, it
does sound like yeah. Yeah, it's like that. Odd sound.
But we see, I think it cuts to the sheriff then waking up in his house and then going to get a drink of vodka and then looking out the window.
The most expensive thing in this entire movie had to have been that bottle of vodka because it was the only thing that was actually real.
Yeah. It then cuts back to the woods where there are two residents of the area who are hunting the serial killer cultist wild animal that's killing everyone in the area.
It could be a bear.
Or
it could be a wolf.
It could be a pack of wolves. But they don't get wolves in this area, just big coyotes.
That doesn't matter, Eustace. You should go and lure him in. Do you want to be the one that flushes him out or the one that has to stand in front of him and pew-pew?
You only get one pew-pew chance before they lunge for your neck. So they proceed to flush him out, which ends up just being Eustace getting chased by CW.
Which is the slowest on-foot chase I've ever seen on film ever.
He trips at one point, and CW waits for him to get up to run again. He is standing right next to him and just like...
And it's like 3-4 seconds because the dude's he's not a spring chicken.
No.
So he takes a minute to stand up, but
yeah.
CW, he do be a polite
then
murderous creature.
Yeah. Eustace gets closer. They get back closer to the other, to Louis. We're gonna call him Louis.
I don't remember.
We're gonna call him Louis.
Hillbilly number 2.
Hillbilly number 2. And he gets ready to take a shot. Oh yeah, you're doing just what I told you to do. He fires. He actually
hits Hillbilly number 1.
He pew-pews Eustace.
Poor Eustace.
And then CW gets him.
But only after allowing Eustace to utter one of the slowest death lines ever.
You shot me. And then
stands for 4 seconds, falls.
Yeah.
Then the Coke.
Then CW.
CW.
After
Wolf.
Yeah, Coke Wolf. Kills Hillbilly number 1. We then have a car pull up in the area who is looking to do a midnight rendezvous
with someone
named Frank.
And dang it, Frank, she's gonna tell him off.
She's got some demands. Oh yeah, they always talk to themselves like they have no internal monologue at all.
Stupid Frank, I can't believe that you dragged me all the way out here. You know what? This just ain't worth it anymore. I'm telling you right now. You better be paying for a hotel room, Frank, or I'm going to be I'm just going to...
You're not going to get any of this.
You're not going to get any of this, Frank.
She then hears some sounds outside and she's like, Frank, is that you? Stop messing around. You better get out here. It doesn't open the window or anything.
The fact that she starts asking if it's Frank, and it's literally, once again... a bad night at Taco Bell noises.
Yep.
Frank may have a nervous stomach.
She then turns on her headlights, and what else does she see but CW standing there?
Good old Coke Wolf.
He then rushes a relative term. Staggers.
Walks at a very slow pace.
He staggers up to the car. I'm pretty sure he was drunk the entire time.
They all were.
He then smashes through the window. Magnificent CGI moment at this point. Like, just right, like, top up there. Like, better than Jurassic World CGI.
It's bad, guys. It's not even B-movie bad. It's bad. It's just bad.
He runs off into the woods again. The sheriff finds the 5 new pew-pewed people.
And he proceeds to just... He had to have been one of the worst actors in the movie. He had to have been a producer or something. I don't know, but let's just say that the only thing that was convincing about his performance were the children's plastic sheriff's badges.
Yes.
That was the most convincing part of his performance.
Yep. CW ends up at an abandoned greenhouse and finds the gypsy of the woods, who says, "I've been waiting for you,"
and proceeds to let him know that she's mad that he killed her son, Weed Wolf.
Yes, her son was the werewolf that turned him,
and his vice
was weed.
Was the devil's cabbage.
The devil's cabbage. Yeah. He was Weed Wolf. He was cannabis werewolf. Canine.
Cannabis canine. And they didn't even bother getting an actor for him. It
was a very bad, just photoshopped in image of a head. Not a body, just the head.
It takes her a whole 2 minutes to realize, oh, you killed my son. Huh. Well, he had it coming.
Yep.
But you killed him, so I'm gonna kill you!
Attacks him with the stick, which he rips from her hand and splunks her stomach with it. He then ends up...
She falls like a shish kebab.
Holding the stick in place the entire time. He then ends up at the site of a low-budget horror film that was being shot in the area. That is...
Where you proceed to get a lot of meta humor, but it doesn't... I'll get into that.
Yeah. He tries to hide so that they don't see his booger sugar. He then eventually falls asleep on a railroad spike and they find him. They take him back to the one Airbnb that they're sharing, which we think was actually the Airbnb they rented just to shoot the movie. And...
I'd say the plot ensues, but it never happens.
Yeah. We end up with a very, very aggressive director named Slash, who sends his cameraman off to go run through the woods with the camera. And
then that cameraman proceeds to get footage of running through the woods in an open field.
Like, he had to have the optimum zoom. Like, he's using the Hubble telescope at this moment on his camera. We're
talking like a 750 millimeter zoom.
Yeah. We get the murder clown from their movie falling asleep. We get the tail end of the two actresses hooking up, which is really just one of them throwing her shirt on and then going for like a 20-minute shower scene that keeps flashing back to. And Slash and the man who has become Werewolf, start doing booger sugar together, which causes him to turn.
Slash got slashed.
Slash got slashed. Then he takes the cameraman who's like, how are they even going to see all this?
Frolicking in the
He's
middle of
like,
the forest.
Whoop, 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 like jumping and kicking. Eats him, breaks into one of the actresses' room, eats her, drags her dead body and throws in front of the other actress, who then runs into the clown, hides in a room, eventually sends the clown to go get the phone and keys from Slash's dead body. Seawolf gets him.
Clown gets caught.
Yeah.
Clown gets got.
Yeah.
God.
She's then sitting in there. Was like, oh no, I'm not gonna make it. What am I gonna do? Nothing's gonna save me. Cut to the sheriff driving towards here, seeing lights on, and is like, oh, I should go.
In the middle of the day, mind you.
It's either the middle of the day or the middle of the night.
And it cannot pick.
Yes.
Between the two.
There is no time. Time is not relevant.
This film literally puts that theory to the test.
Yeah. So he's pulling up to warn them to stay inside, and somehow Seawolf gets in the room. They don't show it. He just kind of poof.
And he poofs in front of them. Like,
yes.
Closer than Pat and I.
Yeah.
In front of them.
Yep. And she's like,
and shocks them.
And then
how'd he get in here?
She runs out of the room into the front room and she's like, but stops to turn around and like strikes like a fighting pose. But luckily the booger sugar in his system has run its course, so he loses his werewolf transformation. The sheriff comes in, she's like, he's the one that killed everyone. And then we get into a small standoff of sheriff with a gun versus Seawolf with a bag of cocaine. He takes a snoot
of
sheriff.
Coca-Cola's secret ingredient.
Yep. Sheriff does a pew 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 pew, and then Seawolf starts to kind of fight back, and he's just like, and then we get an intense like heart beating scene, and then
not heart racing, heart beating.
Yeah. He then falls down and transforms back to his original person, having
OD'd. R.I.P. CW.
Then sheriff and the only other surviving actress in the entire film walks out the door.
Not even just like into the sunset or anything like that. That's the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, wait, it's not the end of the movie.
It's not.
It's not the end of the movie.
Then we get a scene of the woods and a case full of booger sugar and what is creeping up towards it, but what looks like an animal Frankenstein?
And a thing.
A thingamajig of a bunch of body parts, and it likes the booger sugar. It lights the booger sugar all night. It also can control electricity and gets shot by lightning.
And that's weird.
Yeah.
And proceeds to give you one of the best songs in the entire movie over the course of its credits, which are just as long as the opening credits.
They're the exact same credits. Plus some.
Plus some.
Yeah, it's like the opening credits again, and then they're just like, here's all the people that did music, and there's like 8 different bands.
Yeah, like legitimately this film had a full soundtrack.
And it's a magnificent soundtrack. Like, if you don't want to watch this, find the soundtrack somehow and just listen to it. Like,
the soundtrack is the best part of it. And the thing is that it's decent music, it's well performed music, but as good as the music is, they always pick to put it in like the worst parts.
yeah,
So it's just like
it never matches up.
you're sitting there and you're like grooving to the music and you're like, oh, okay, I'm getting into it. And it's kind of like a upbeat thing. And it's just like, no, he's just wandering through a warehouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We get like this really like kind of music going on, and it's just Slash and Seawolf doing cocaine and then flashing into like the 20-minute shower scene.
That shower scene was far too long.
Yeah. It was a very in-depth shower scene, but also not in-depth. Like, it's just long, but nothing happens.
It's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad.
So,
Yeah. That's the plot. Let's get
saying this now, I don't believe we just watched that. This has to have been a shared hallucination.
I wish. Anyway, let's get into the bad, the ugly, and the worth. What is the bad? What's bad about this movie, Pat? Not the thing that makes it a B movie, just bad.
Truthfully, the concept, like, no concept of time really gets me. Like,
There's really poor continuity between shots.
there is no continuity.
Yeah. In fact, there's a scene in the middle of the movie where all of the actors have a wardrobe change. Like, they completely different clothes. And it's supposed to be the same day.
I don't remember that part.
Slash's clothes went from, like, gray to red.
Oh, yeah, he did, but everyone else wore the same clothes still.
Close enough to
Yeah.
it. But it's noticeable enough to be like, how did it take you 2 days to film this?
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, it's... There's, like, it like, it's literally one scene, it's day, the next scene, it's midnight, the next scene, it's, like, morning, the third scene, it's, like, evening.
and another thing, too, with continuity is, like, distance of shooting. Like, the shots are
Yeah.
inconsistent, the
Like,
distance between different
You're
things.
constantly, like, getting really close up and then really far away, and then, like, there's, like, quite a few, like, really nice, like, establishing shots that they do, but
There's
there's
some amazing shots. They
Yeah.
have like a drone shot that's
They have a
really well done.
beautiful drone shot of, like, a river for no reason.
No reason.
There's also, like, a 4-second, like, a minute-long shot of a truck just driving forward.
At the slowest pace.
Like,
humanly
it is
possible.
crawling forward. And then it has county sheriff on it with poster board taped to the side of the car.
Yep. Man. This. But also just like the distance of the car. That was like the first one that's like super
Yeah.
noticeable. No object permanence. When somebody
Yeah.
dies somewhere, they don't really show any.
They, like, disappear. And
They
then
they do.
they only
just
appear when
disappear.
they're needed.
Yeah. Or they don't appear at all in the case
Yeah.
of Werewolf.
Yeah. He's just a head photoshopped into the video. But, like,
Yeah.
it's stretched. Like, it's not even, like, a large picture. It's just a stretched picture of, like, a small one.
And it's like a drawing.
Yeah.
It's like it's beyond uncanny. But the other thing too is that it's just like even like the space, they seem unaware of the space that they're shooting in.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes they'll be referencing something or looking at something, and they can't remember where they said the thing was.
Yeah.
So sometimes an actor will look at something, and then the other actor is looking like farther away.
Or the scene with the Gypsy of the Wood where like she's supposed to be stirring something.
Yeah.
But like she's like constantly like putting the stick at a different spot when she starts stirring again. And like none of the cans are even like none of the pots are even open. She's stirring air.
Well, you don't even see the pots. You have an establishing shot of pots of her cooking.
Yeah.
But she's just standing in the middle of
with the stick.
Yeah, with a stick. Maybe stirring, maybe poking. Maybe just standing with a stick.
She's definitely doing like a this motion with the stick.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bad. This movie.
Wait, I thought that was the bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this movie is just bad.
Yeah.
I have stuff that I'll get into it with the ugly on like more specifics, but overall bad.
Yeah.
This film is
it's
so bad that it is bad.
Yeah.
That's kind of the thing, is it's not even like a B movie. It's not even like ooh,
yeah,
kooky.
it's just
it just feels like it wrapped right back around to being bad.
Yeah.
It's probably the worst one that we've seen. We've seen 3 movies. This one, I would say that I would be more willing to watch the second Iron Sky than this one.
I mean, the second Iron Sky was bad, but it was kind of fun still.
It had its moments.
Yeah, like,
it at least had like redeeming characters and stuff. Like this one.
Like this one's like the second Iron Sky was a completely like out there like plot and like the thought process of it, but like it had redemption. And this one's like it's a little out there, but it's not like so far out there with all the other things established in the genre of horror, like in werewolves. Like, there could totally be a man that gets bitten by a werewolf who has a little nose candy problem.
I think we've said it enough times that at this point, if we're going to get censored, we're going to get censored.
Okay, yeah, has a cocaine problem.
Yeah. But it is one of those things where it's just like, some of the concepts that they touch on can be interesting, but overall it's not very well executed. There's a lot of issues in it, and the issues in it do not make up for the fact that it's a B movie.
Yeah,
it just comes off as no, you just didn't
put
try
effort or anything into it. Like
like you barely tried.
Like you gave someone like maybe $150, and you said, "Hey, here's this. You can use anything we already have. Make movie."
It was an even worse deal than they gave to Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
It literally was not like, oh, here's $750 or $3,000 and you have to do your own wardrobe. It was like, no, here's $50.
Yeah. You know what? Sorry, no, $10.
Well, 10 plus lunch.
Oh, yeah.
And lunch was bologna sandwiches on
Wonder Bread.
Wonder Bread.
Which is better than what they got on Fire Island. They just got cheese.
But yeah, like overall bad is just this film is bad.
There's only 5 people that allow themselves to be credited to this film from Google. The rest of them will not associate with it.
Yeah. Let's get into the ugly. What makes this like a B movie? You can get into like more specifics about the movie in and of itself. What are some things you want to talk about with the movie?
The entirety of this film, it's like they were shooting a porno, and then they cut like almost all the porn out of it except for the shower scene.
Yeah. Like
it's every single scene seems like they're leading up to bow chicka bow bow chicka chicka bow bow.
And some of the lines even like lead into this.
Like repeatedly.
Yeah, it's like the lines almost like ooze the fact that this is like an intro to kind of a porno. But the thing is, it's not even like fun. It's not even like a fun like, oh, we're aware.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's as if they were just like, they started filming one, the actresses caught on,
Yeah.
and then they had to be like, oh, no, actually, this is, it's a horror movie.
Yeah.
Let me find a costume. And,
Yep.
oh, it's a werewolf.
Yep. That's exactly what happened.
Sometimes it does feel like that. Like, it really does.
Yeah.
I have a few things to say about this. As far as, like, ugly.
Yeah.
What makes this film, like, ugly B-movie material.
Yeah.
Probably one of the things that is a pet peeve of mine of this film is it is self-aware,
Yeah.
but then it proceeds to do it bad anyway.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's just like, you know how in like horror movies they usually have a trope, like think Scream 3. I don't think you've seen any of the Scream movies.
I have not.
Okay, so Scream 3, essentially one of the plots is that they are on the set of a film based on the events of Scream.
Yeah.
So the Stab movies. They're on the set of Stab 3.
Yeah.
When they do scenes related to the movie, it looks like a movie.
Yeah.
Or I don't really know how to explain it. You know how when in a movie they show a movie and they make fun of how bad graphics and everything is in movies, and it's like purposely done bad?
Yeah.
So it's like, oh yeah, it's a slasher, and then the blood is just completely wrong.
Yeah.
Or the acting comes off kind of cheesy and corny.
Yeah.
But then the movie itself is actually like
Yeah. Yeah.
hard hitting, like good
yeah.
acting,
Yeah.
and the graphics are much different. And it's just supposed to show you that it's like, this is a film
Within a film.
and we know that films are cheesy and
Yeah.
graphics are bad, acting can be bad.
Yeah.
This film points out the fact that there is no acting and there is no script, and there are ways that they are trying to extend the movie because they did not have a good enough script. There wasn't a lot of movie material, plot material, so they're just making random shots. They point this out when they're making a horror movie in the movie.
Yeah.
But the horror movie in the movie actually has practical effects that are better.
Yeah.
It has some better acting.
It seems like it actually has a plot.
It almost feels more like a plot, and it actually admits the fact that, no, we're out here to film a horror movie, but on all reality, we just kind of want to get you with this girl on film.
Yeah.
Like, they at least admitted it that far.
Yep.
Whereas this movie, the movie, like, you know, Cocaine Werewolf, the movie, sure, they use CGI poorly. Sometimes they have practical effects that are all awful.
Yep.
And they don't actually have a lot of, like, intense, like, actual, like, a fight. Things are actually happening.
Yeah, there's very little, like, inter-character dialogue.
Yeah. And so one of the uglies about this film that is actually really a pet peeve for me is just when you are making fun of a trope and you're self-aware, you're supposed to kind of do it a little bit better.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, wow, this movie's so cheesy and we have no budget. Oh, we can't really do anything. But then you turn around and you do something actually kind of creative.
Yeah.
Where it's like, sure, you have no budget, but you did a really good job with this.
Yeah.
Sure, you have actors who are playing actors on screen. Make sure that they're not actually doing better acting
in your fake movie
than your actual movie.
Yeah.
I would say that the humor in this movie just isn't really that existent. Sometimes they say something that's kind of creative. Sometimes in the dialogue they do something kind of fun.
Yeah.
But this movie really does not really pack a punch with a lot of comedy.
The comedy is watching it.
Well, the comedy was watching it and us making comments about
Yeah.
it. Otherwise, this film tried to kind of come off as a bit serious, which when it comes to a B movie and you know that it's a B movie, you kind of have to play it a little bit like, you know, like wink.
Wink,
It's
wink.
supposed to be kind of corny.
Yeah.
We're not actually making like a full-on serious film. This film is literally about a dude that turns into a werewolf because he's doing crack.
Yeah.
That's a ridiculous concept. Have fun with that. Like,
Yeah.
have some dialogue, man. That isn't, oh, I really should try to solve these murders because people are scared.
Do you think that it's a serial killer or some kind of cult? Yes, it could be one of those things, but I can't tell you that. Get out of my way.
Or, man, we should get out of here because it's just you and I.
Yeah, that's an actual direct line from the script.
Grammatically correct, but at the same time, I don't think anybody in that situation is going to be like, yeah, we should probably escape because it's really just you and me.
Yeah, you and me.
That's it. And the other thing too is that sometimes they didn't take advantage of things. Where
Yeah.
it's like, I pointed out a couple of times during watching the film where I was just like, oh, he stuck his head out to go look to see if there was a werewolf.
Yeah.
That's when you bite his face off.
Yeah.
Like, it's things like that where it's just like, have a jump scare.
Yeah.
Or if you make it a thing where you notice that whenever the werewolf appears, nobody seems to notice him, make it a thing where, like, it's like a Clark Kent kind of thing, where people don't notice him until the plot ensues.
Yeah.
And people just, like, bump into him and are like, oh, that's weird. There's nothing here.
Yeah.
Like, have some fun with it, have some humor with it. And a lot of the things that make B movies actually worth it is when they have dialogue that points out how ridiculous something is.
Yeah.
Because you're going to end up having some meta humor. You just are.
Yeah.
But at least have some fun with it. This film's humor is very service level. The only joke I think they flat out said was like, wow, Slash got slashed.
Yeah. And it was delivered so really, it wasn't the greatest delivery.
It wasn't the greatest delivery, and it was delivered literally 3 seconds before he died.
Yeah.
Another thing too is that they had an actor who was just like, oh, I went to the Royal Academy for this. It would have been more funny if literally they like broke character and were like, I can't believe I went to the Royal Academy for this. And then,
Yeah.
you know, like he does the monologue from Hamlet, to be or not to be. But he doesn't, you know, it's just kind of like delivered like he has to do it for a high school project.
Yeah.
You know, there's things where it's just like they didn't really take advantage of a lot of stuff. And the other thing too is that like
It's kind of, acting wise, it's kind of flat.
it is very flat. Like the delivery's not very good. The lines are nonsensical in and of themselves, but they're delivered not like they're nonsense.
Yeah, they're delivered like somebody just handed you a report and they want you to read it before a business meeting, like a group of business people. So you're like, this year we have done X amount of sales. Instead of, this year the unicorn farted in my candy cup.
It's a hell of a business meeting.
That is how they're delivering lines. And that is like the content of their lines. A unicorn farted in my candy cup. It made me sad, but then I realized unicorn farts taste good. That is all.
Yeah, and it doesn't come out naturally. It's all very stilted. It's all very stinted. I don't know. It's some of the things. It's just like they try to like emphasize that like, oh, the director's a womanizer,
Yeah.
but they didn't play into the fact that literally I mean, come on. You and I both made the joke. It's like,
Yeah.
he's very clearly not a womanizer.
Yeah.
In fact, he'd probably be more, it would have been more funny if they played into that,
Yes.
because he is very effeminate.
Yeah.
He's very effeminate.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that you have him and, oh, he's such a dog.
Yeah.
You know, like, you could really play that up and be like, I can't believe that I had to sleep with the director for this. And then you have everybody just kind of look and just be like, really?
How'd that work?
Huh.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
I guess. You know, it's 2024, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's like you could have literally had a line like that.
Yeah.
You could have had, like, be kind of self-aware. You know,
Mhm.
play into a little bit of humor. Let people kind of be spontaneous. Sometimes, you know, like
Yeah.
instead every single line is delivered as it is written to
Yep.
the point where literally they say you and I.
We should get out of here since it's just you and I.
And she pauses like she's about to say me. It's just you and I.
You should get the keys. Why? Well, you're the man.
And that's how it's delivered, where it's there's not really a lot of cadence, there's not really a lot of humor. Obviously these people aren't like, actually they are professional actors. I'm assuming they got paid.
We can't be sure because, like I said, if you look on Google,
The girl
or
who
you
was in
look
the
on
shower definitely
IMDb,
should have been paid.
Yeah,
Oh my word.
yeah.
It was, yeah.
They did a lot of the shower shot. Like, it was a very long, drawn out process of doing the shower shot.
And it was not tastefully done.
Nope.
Bad.
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 Ugly. The process.
Yeah, the whole like lead up and the shots.
Yeah.
And ugly.
Yes.
This is bad. And you know that's kind of like the thing that's just ugly about the movie is the entire movie is like this. You're kind of waiting for it to become a little bit self-aware. It's coming off a little bit flat. They're not really delivering a lot of their lines.
Yeah.
There's not that fun banter and dialogue.
Yeah.
And the thing is that it's clear that these guys have spent like no time together.
Yeah.
So, like, I get that, you know, you're on a tight budget, you're on a tight schedule, but at least two people in the movie should have known each other.
I'm thinking a couple of them have known each other because, like,
Because they work for the same company.
Yeah.
And it's a company.
Yeah.
This is not just some person with a camera on YouTube.
nope.
This isn't crap.
This is not us.
This, you know, it's not Entertainment Rebooted doing a cold open. It's a full blown, and they remind you,
Multiple times.
a motion picture company.
They do it in the beginning. They do it in the second version of their credits after the like first establishing shots. They even have a part where they break the fourth wall and have the actual person who paid for the production calls.
The person who owns the production company, Sterling Productions.
Yes, he calls in the movie. And we hear... You don't even hear voicemails on people's phones anymore.
Well, and that's another thing too. Is just like they're not really. They do some tropes that just don't make sense. Like for instance, they hear the person's phone ringing outside around a corner through a closed window,
Yes.
and then they hear the voicemail pick up.
Yes.
Oh, hi, this is Slash. I can't talk right now because I'm betting women. It wasn't even that line. That line would have been hilarious.
I can't talk right now because I'm probably on set banging the actresses.
Yeah, and then, beep, and then you get the recording, and they're listening the entire time.
Yeah.
And it's just like it would have been funny if it just cut to somebody in an office that was like, "This is so and so from like Sterling. You better freaking pick up because
Yeah.
we're paying for this. It's somehow over budget."
Yeah.
You know, something like that. And the thing is that it's just like they didn't take advantage of a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
Humor falls flat. Delivery lines, like lines of delivery. It melted my brain. It just crash and burn. This film is, it's not fun. One of the movies that. All right, let's. I'll get into this a little bit more. Pat, would you recommend what is the grade of this B movie?
Grading?
Yeah, is B minus, B plus, B double plus?
It's off the B scale.
It actually got a C.
No, I got a D. It got the B with no belt.
No, it's got an E. The B with no curves.
Okay. Yeah.
E.
Yeah.
It's just
Actually,
fell apart.
Yeah.
It doesn't even
You know what?
rank its
It doesn't even get a full letter. It just gets a dot. It gets one dot, like you accidentally dropped your pen and it touched the paper.
It scored an E, not the letter E, but the number E. It's bad. Do we recommend it? No. Do not watch this movie. Do not buy this movie. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your money. It's not a B movie. It's a bad movie.
The only worth of this movie isn't the movie. It is the soundtrack.
Literally. That is the only part about this movie that we enjoyed. And the soundtrack does not fit the movie except for Cocaine Werewolf, the song.
Yeah,
which plays during the credits.
They also, at the beginning, there's another song about the werewolf and cocaine. There's like two different...
Yeah, it's like the title sequence and then the closing. It's bad.
Yeah.
A movie that is similar vibes to this. Okay, so I'll give you guys a different recommendation. We might watch it for the channel, but you've gotten this far. I'll give you like a cookie.
Here's a cookie.
Yeah, here's a cookie.
Here's a cookie.
A movie that has similar vibes to this one, but actually did it more fun and had more justice to it is
Velocipaster.
Actually, that's different. The thing is too that Velocipaster has stuff in it. We need to watch it for the channel. That one's fun.
Yeah.
But the one that I would recommend is I Was a Teenage Wereskunk. I Was a Teenage Wereskunk is a horror movie that is very aware of the fact that it's a horror movie. It has so few actors in it that literally they have actors that are playing multiple parts, but it is very self-aware of itself. It has very good humor and it has very good dialogue. It is not the best movie I've ever seen. It's, like I said, low quality, low budget. However, that one is more fun. I Was a Teenage Wereskunk is way better than Cocaine Werewolf.
Yeah. I haven't even seen the movie, but I just agree because my brain, to protect me, is actively forgetting this movie at the moment. Like, it is erasing the memories of this movie in my protection at this exact moment.
I'm hoping that I can purge it. I don't know if I ever will. It's bad.
And if you do watch it, I'll be nervous for you.
So nervous. So nervous.
We'll get scratches.
Get an itch. Speaking about bad, if you like this channel...
Self-deprecation.
It's the lowest form of humor, which is still a higher bar of humor than this movie.
This movie doesn't even reach... It doesn't reach the bar. It doesn't know the bar exists.
It didn't even bother.
It saw a line leading up to the bar and it's like, that's too long. And it turned around and it walked into a ditch and then it started digging.
It never stopped.
And then it like kept throwing the dirt on top of itself somehow and still digging.
It's bad. Anyway,
no bueno. It's no bueno.
Anyway, we like to watch a lot of different kinds of movies. We're doing this, the Be Visited now.
Yep.
But we also watch the Godzilla movies. We've been doing that. And with DJ, we've been going through the classic Universal monster movies, Mel Brooks. We try to watch new movies that interest us that are coming out. Otherwise, we're always open to more suggestions. We love watching movies and talking about them, kind of nerding out a little bit.
And occasionally suffering so you don't have to.
Unfortunately, that occasional is like 50% of the time lately.
Yeah.
But we enjoy watching movies and talking about them. And if you guys like movies, you'll like this channel. Your friends will like this channel. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Otherwise, leave us a like. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Have you seen Cocaine Werewolf?
Have you seen it and then forced yourself to forget it, and us talking about it has now caused you to reawaken those memories? If so, sorry.
And let us know how therapy's going in the comments below.
And if you somehow were in this movie and you're seeing this video, yeah, I have nothing to say to you.
Everything that we said here was completely honest and true.
This is my heartfelt non-apology for you. Sorry.
It's a bad
Not
movie.
sorry.
Not sorry. Sorry we watched it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, oh, I lost my train of thought. Shoot. I hate it when that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. Lost it again.
I think we're just saying bye.
Yeah.
We asked you to like.
Yeah, like,
subscribe
comment,
if you haven't.
Oh,
Yeah.
if you have recommendations, if you like B movies and you have specific recommendations, please let us know in the comments below. We are always looking for recommendations because there's only so many movies that we have seen or come across.
Yes.
So we're always up to suggestions. Let us know if there's anything that you would like to see on the channel. We will try our bestivest to do it.
Yes.
Otherwise, we will see you guys and gals and weird and amorphous Uber drivers in the next video.
Be good.